Hi, I'm Scott Doucette, and I'm here to talk to you about the leadership skills I've learned this semester and how I will incorporate them into my leadership style. While I have some of your attention, I'd just like to say that it's been a surprisingly rewarding class and definitely learned more than I thought I would. So thank you, Craig, and thank you, classmates. Um, First, I want to talk about some experiences I've had over the years that have put me into leadership positions. From a young age, I've always been in team sports and the environments that come with that. Hockey, baseball, soccer. I was always one of the bigger kids, matured a little quicker than others, and I would do well. This kind of put me into the leadership position among my teammates. That being said, I was just a kid trying to have fun and didn't know much about leadership. Uh, I was more just being myself, and it was a natural kind of thing. So even up to a few years ago, where I was a leader of some of the hockey teams I played on, all I really knew about being a leader was leading by example. Same goes for my previous position at work when I was a project supervisor. I would get decent results, but sometimes there would be conflict with some workers, and I'd be left scratching my head, wondering what do I got to do to get performance out of this friggin' guy, right? Like, didn't have the answers. So that being said, this class has really taught me a lot. Um, Leadership, it's actually a huge set of skills. You can actually, to my new knowledge, you can learn them and you can develop them. Uh, there are a lot of attributes of a good leader. To me, some of the important attributes of a good leader are definitely someone who communicates well, someone who has this confidence, this air, charisma to be inspiring. Inspiring both in their words, but inspiring in how they lead as a pace setter and how they lead by example. Also, the motives of the leader, they need to come from a selfless place. But that being said, I think we're all getting in this trade so that we can help people. And that, as much as the money, will be our inspiration and motivation. A skill that I find to be one of the most important things that I learned this semester is the skill of increasing my self-awareness. I've never really done a self-examination, but I thought it was important to do one. Take a good look at me, find out what works good, what doesn't work. You got to figure that out before you start leading other people and telling them what works. Um, I mean, if you do that, you'll like if you want people to believe in what you're telling them, you need to have the knowledge, you need to have the confidence. Um, that confidence is what's going to convict people into following the vision that you're laying out for them. So, just this winter, the company I work for identified their leaders and put us all through a 2-day course of Myers-Briggs. That's basically an extended version of our Type Talk module. It was really good. Um, we all learned a lot. As you guys know, we learned where we get our energy from, how different people gather info, make decisions, structure their environments. And again, from that, you get a really good self-awareness. But you can also start recognizing those patterns in others. Uh, it is a tough skill trying to recognize someone's type who I've just met. But if I can get to know my clients and figure out some of their patterns, I have this structured tool of Myers-Briggs that identifies how to get the best response out of the different types. It's a lot to process on the fly, but I see myself getting to know my client, then referring back to notes on what makes their type tick, then applying it, then kind of doing the same process a couple times over with this same client until I feel that I'm pushing the right buttons as much as I can. Um, it's going to take some practice. I realize that, but I think identifying types could be the ticket to getting the most out of my clients. Um, so throughout this course, I realized that some of my basic morals and ethics are based on making the people around me feel positive, feel happy. This is what I base my decision making on. I can have confidence in making decisions if I can look to the outcome of that decision and make sure the outcomes are staying true to my ethics and morals. Um, this kind of ties to my servant style of leading. I would say this is kind of in our job description. We provide a service to lead people to wellness. Um, I want to empower my clients, uh, serve them with as much knowledge as I feel that they can handle, exercise their brains as much as their bodies. I want to provide them with a really good sense of direction. They're going to need a really structured and personalized path that clearly gets them to their goals. These paths, they're going to be filled with laughs, filled with good times, high fives, and of course hard work and some serious sweat and maybe some hate sometimes. So to do that, I'm going to create a team mentality in the client-trainer relationship. I'll be a leader as well as a follower. I want to be able to bounce ideas off the client. They're not going to be naive about the industry. There's more fitness magazines published than there is like tabloids these days. So in creating this kind of team environment and taking what I've told them and what they've learned from me, what they've learned from what they've read, they can start to conclude some positive decisions themselves. Uh, I also want the client to really feel like I'm on their team. I want to give them the sense that they aren't in this battle alone. I'll be the one to give them a big kick in the butt when I feel like they're slacking. And I'll also make them realize that this path to wellness they've started on will be the best decisions they've ever made. Um, I want to be able to relate to my clients and my clients to relate to me as much as possible. This way I can better lead by example. Um, I know I'm young, I'm 25, but I've definitely had some good experiences to pass on. I'm doing the whole 40-hour work week thing. I've stayed in shape during work and not stayed in shape. I definitely know very well the difference in levels of energy you get when you're working out versus not working out. Um, I also want to be able to relate to my athlete clients, give them insight on what it takes to get to the next level, whether that be from my experiences or from guys I've played with who went on to play pro. I'll be able to communicate what sets these elite athletes apart from the rest of us. For the most part, I have this pace setting style there where I can lead by example to use as a motivational tool. But for those kind of reaching for the highest level, and well, I'll be able to use what I've learned and seen from others for like the coaching and the democratic styles. Um, yeah. So what my philosophy, so what my philosophy comes down to is I see myself as a social guy, and I'm gonna want to be friends with all my clients, whether they want to or not. I figure the more personal I can get, the better I will be at personal training. Um, Empowering people is making them feel special, and the best way I know how to do that is by being friendly, asking questions on fitness, questions on topics other than fitness. Build the relationship up. Build it up to where there's this level of trust. I mean, then my message is really going to have some sting in their memory banks. So moving forward from this class, I'll continue to develop my leadership skills by watching and learning from other leaders. With the patterns and tools I've learned in this class, I'll definitely be better equipped to kind of learn from the situations I've been through, but also be able to better recognize a good leader when I see one. And from there, recognize the styles and approaches that are working for them as leaders. So I know my leadership style is a work in progress, and I realize this course has definitely brought it a long way. So thanks for the good times this semester, and best of luck in your studies. Take care.